A super specific message is coming through. I'm hearing that someone's heart, the fires of their heart, are flickering. Truly, they're feeling them, but there's some kind of hesitation that they're clearing through. Okay, so let's see who this message is for and what the message is. It's not going to be for everyone. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So we've got Knight of Swords, Three of Swords, and then the Four of Wands at the bottom of the deck. This is what they're clearing through. So whatever, any kind of remnants, I think they might even be having conversations with the right people, maybe people from the past that causes kind of grief or heartbreak or something. But there's definitely a lot of information that they're really kind of going through right now. And this Four of Wands suggests that this is what they want to bring. They want to bring this balance, this alignment. You know, this is what their heart is kind of feeling the call towards. And I think clearly they've been doing a lot of clearing then, because they're actually allowing themselves to feel this, you know. And also with that, what's just come through as well, they really are actually having the right kind of outlook. They've got some kind of momentum in them right now is what I'm getting. Eight of Wands, conversations, definitely having conversations, clearing through any mess. But I also feel like maybe this is conversation that they're going to be having towards where they do want to go towards and who they want to go towards. Okay, really important. 3 and 8 might be important. Another 3, so 3 of Wands. So yeah, they're definitely looking forward. They have a forward vision in their mind right now. Okay, got the Queen of Cups at the bottom of the deck as well. So definitely heart-centered approach is what they want to move forwards with. They're seeing the horizon. They're seeing the horizon. They're seeing balance there. They're seeing equity is what's come through. So it's kind of like, you know, when you give and receive in balance, it's also understanding that it's not going to be exactly the same thing. So you're going to be giving and receiving different things from each other, but it's the same amount of effort that's required, the same intention, right? Because you're going to have different things that you can offer to each other, you know. Physically, emotionally, yeah, definitely. 2 of Cups. This is so what they want moving forwards. This is... I think for a long time they didn't see this because they didn't yes, there was a lot of heartbreak in their vision for sure. That's what they're healing through. Still there's a few bits of hesitation, but they're doing well clearly. But I think there's something about feeling more grounded within themselves that's allowing them to really have faith, or some kind of hope has been sparked within them when it comes to this alignment, you know, these 2 cups coming together with this 2 of Cups, which means that clearly there's a balance within themselves, in their emotion, within their inner yin and yang. That's beautiful. Queen of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck as well. Wow. I'm seeing hesitation also because I think I'm not sure they know how they're going to be received. Okay, so let's just get confirmation about this Knight of Swords, okay. So I think maybe they're working on their approach towards this vision forwards. Yeah, balance. Again, Temperance has come out, so I'm getting the energy of not wanting to rush as well. There's somebody who they don't want to rush, but I also feel like at the same time they're feeling accelerate, like they want to go in. Maybe they're feeling some kind of, I don't know, there's something about, you know, wanting to get it like going, and you know, maybe something about time is an issue for them, especially actually with just giving time, turn, energy. So maybe that is an issue. Sagittarius season could be important, but maybe memories or something. But there's definitely something about honouring. I think maybe there has been a lot of patience here, but they're honouring this now because they're understanding that actually this is what was needed for their mind to reach the right capacity that's required for this that they want to go towards now. Okay, that beautiful union energy. Clearly, I mean, gosh. Wow, okay. 3 of Swords. Yeah, they're really, really investing in understanding this heartbreak. That's beautiful. That is such a pivotal place to reach. No longer avoiding it or trying to mask it or distract themselves from it, whatever it is, you know, or acting like they're above it. That's interesting. So there's definitely something about ego that has been there in the past. It's a 9 of Wands. They're putting in the work, so they're investing in themselves. But this means that they've tried to mask this heartbreak in the past, and they're really peeling back the layers. They're really peeling back the layers of themselves. They're putting in the work. 8 of Pentacles. 8 could be important here. 3s, 8s, and 9s I think are really important here actually. Okay. Could also be March, August and September as well. Yeah, 8 of Pentacles literally just came out. That's with the 8 of Wands, so definitely 8 so important. Yeah, they want to invest. They want to invest in the forward movement, the progression, the momentum that it's kind of like gaining. But I also feel like this is about putting in the work towards the right conversations now. the right conversations that are going to really feed into the forward vision that is on their mind. Okay, I think there's a lot of stuff that they've been going through, a lot of external factors that they themselves, like I've heard, put themselves in risky situations. Yeah, there's a lot of things that I think that perhaps they want to be honest about, and they're mindful of this, which is why they want to be really clear about understanding that heartbreak and grief. It's kind of like they're really seeing things in it's like they're seeing things from a bigger picture. So maybe before they were so invested deeply within and all the little details and really taking a lot of things like so personally, but right about now they're seeing things from a bigger picture, which is why they're able to understand how they can help provide the solution now moving forwards. Ace of Wands, wow, that's with the Three of Wands. So they are very like, there's this, that fire, the fire of the heart, that's what this is, the passion that there is igniting within them when they think about this forward picture, this vision, you know, they're seeing the horizon, you know, I'm suddenly seeing the ocean. So maybe they look at the ocean and this is where they're clearing through their headspace and they're really finding answers, connecting to fire, maybe water as well. Okay, Two of Cups. Yeah, so Six of Wands at the bottom of the deck, but this Nine of Swords. I'm going to get another one just to confirm. There's some kind of anxiety here about this. Let's find out. Nines are definitely important. This is why they want to take it slow. This is why they want to take it slow. They know that this is going to be a huge investment, but transformation. They don't. I don't think this is someone who sees this as an investment, like a burden at all. This is where they want to go. They truly, their heart feels it, but there's something about needing to take things slow so things don't so the head is in alignment with the heart, you know, so that there's not too much processing taking place. And I'm going to get another one because I think that they've been doing a lot of learning, but this is going to be about putting that learning into practice now. Okay, so they want to move forward and they want it to be steady and stable. They don't want who they're moving towards to be second guessing this either. They want that person that they're moving towards to be sure, to not be worried and concerned, and you know, they want themselves to be a trusted person. Wow. Yeah, oh my god, Two of Wands and Nine of Cups. Wow, I think this is like, they're seeing long term, because the approach that I'm seeing here is really it's almost like a wiser approach. Okay, so it's kind of they want to ground it. They want it to be a grounded beginning so that they know that both of you, when you look ahead, have faith in that picture, because this is where their heart is like excited about. So they want this to be a two-way thing, but they know that this is where the Two of Wands, the conversations need to come in, the honesty, the transparency. But also I think that there's someone who they want to maybe they want to like put effort in. So maybe there's something they need to make up for or something, but they want to come forward with offers. Like they're in a very providing energy. That's what they're moving towards anyway, once they clear out this hesitation. I think this is someone who wants to really talk about their wishes, what they truly desire from the heart, but then that's again where that hesitation comes in, and they need to have more clarity for them. So just for their own peace of mind, it feels like, because they know that this is what they're going to be providing to someone else, so they want to provide that peace of mind outside of themselves too. So they've got the Chariot and the Ten of Pentacles. Yeah, again, Ten of Pentacles, ultimate abundance. There's commitment, there's loyalty, there's stability, there's abundance, you know, vitality here in this energy. This is why there's balance, because I think someone, again, the Knight of Swords and the Chariot, that's fast forward movement. Like that's like drive and lots coming in fast, okay? There's only the thing that they're recognizing as seeing them on that chariot, right? That chariot's going and they've got the reins, and then suddenly the chariot's just going super, super fast, right? And to the point where the reins take themselves, and the chariot is in control of itself now, to the point where it's not in control. It's so unstable, it's going super fast, and they can see that this chariot is not going to stop, right? And it's not going to slow down, it's going to crash, right? So this is where they're recognizing this has been their past behaviors, or this is what's happened in the past, or at least this is how they've felt accelerated in the heart space, in just a lot of what they've experienced before. So what they're doing is, with that Temperance card in the middle, they want to find that balance. They want to perfect that balance, so actually they can stay on that chariot, they can stay in the reins, they're finding that balance within them, so one side of them doesn't overtake the other side and they just lose balance, right? And that Ten of Pentacles is absolute stability. That's absolute stability. They could be quite abundant themselves, you know, energy-wise, or even just like genuinely resources, okay? Okay. Yep. Oh, the Emperor at the bottom of the deck. 5 of Pentacles. Yeah, that's coming out with what they learned. They're healing through abandonment wounds. And rejection is a big thing for this one. Rejection wounds. Yeah, they're definitely healing through rejection wounds. Let's get another one for that. Because that's like that 3 of Swords energy. So they felt this before. They felt, I don't know. It's interesting because I'm hearing they felt like they've not been chosen, which is usually a really wounded feminine energy to have. So that's clearly what they're understanding about themselves right now. You know, their inner yin and yang. That's coming through. This is where I think they might be having the right conversations. I actually think that maybe they're talking to some kind of, maybe it's a therapist or counselor or something, or someone who's a trusted person who is helping them to unravel and understand their heartbreak. Okay, yeah, 2 of Swords. They've had a lot of indecision, and this is where the indecision has come from. Place of heartbreak. And I actually think that maybe this is something to do with a wounded inner child, actually. So it's not just like a previous betrayal or previous rejection. I think perhaps this is deep-rooted, because it feels like this is something that they've been moving away from, or working on moving away from for maybe for a while, actually. We'll get another one just to confirm that energy. Okay, the Emperor did come out, and the 7 of Swords. Definitely betrayal wounds, because that Emperor, he's sitting in his throne, but I think this is someone who, it's almost like they've had a lot of ego with that throne. It's had to be really like, you know, excessive control energy. They've needed to, this is what they want to release, because this is not helping them to make a decision from a healthy space, a heart space. They know this. That's why they're really putting in that work. And they don't want to be the one who ends up betraying anyone else, especially if they, you know, truly love someone. You know, because of their own wounds, they end up making mistakes or decisions or whatever. They don't want to do that. So they're really investing in trying to anchor into their divinity right now. Beautiful. Too many cards. Okay. Hanged Man was at the bottom of the deck, so maybe there has been some kind of pause. Certainly a crossroads for a while for somebody, which is where they've been investing in enlightening themselves. Okay. Learning a lot. Okay, Ace of Wands. Okay, 7 of Wands. So wherever these conversations are moving forwards, Ace of Pentacles are going to be an opportunity to build this new beginning that's stable, trustworthy, but it will come with both of you overcoming whatever's happened in the past here. That 7 of Wands is overcoming any kind of barriers that could block you from moving forwards together, from a place where you're in alignment with each other in terms of your intentions that was coming through before. Okay. I also think they're going to be wanting to speak on what they've been overcoming, you know, to get to this space. They want to make decisions from that divine masculine energy is what's coming through, because obviously whoever you are, your inner divine masculine is where you make those decisions from. That needs to be from a healthy space, from that the wound-led space that's still subconsciously, you know, impacting your decision making and your action taking. Do you know what I mean? Your drivers, are they healthy or are they wounded? And this is what someone's understanding. So they've clearly been delving into the subconscious, right? Okay, 3 of Wands. Judgment. Ooh, nice. Okay, so Judgment, massive awakening. That's, I think the awakening is that of the heart, the fires of the heart suddenly, like, clearly they've had some kind of block that have cleared through. That's a big deal. Yeah, the Star. Yeah, they've been clearing. They've been, I feel like they've been praying for a miracle. And they don't realize that they are their miracle. They're bringing it to themselves. And with that judgment, their awakening is out of the heart, truly. They're not afraid of what they want anymore. I think once upon a time, you know, they even tried to avoid it, like, or maybe they tried to find it outside of themselves, and they just gave themselves excuses for why they weren't finding it, and all the problems were outside of themselves. They're very different. They turned that gaze inwards. You know, those fingers that were pointing towards them, they've started focusing on them and not just the one look pointing out. Do you know what I mean? Wow, big. They're paying attention to the signs. They're paying attention because I think that they've been giving divine guidance on what that forward picture looks like, actually, which is beautiful. Yeah, the Devil in the Wheel and Justice, big. They're massively, like, when I say they're healing through and closing out the shadow and bringing themselves divine justice. And maybe, you know, it's not just themselves. I think that actually there's been external influence. that they've had to really find balance in. I'm hearing even legal matters, you know, they've been chained to, or felt like they were chained to, tied to very restrictive energies, you know, but this has been a massive learning portal for their soul. It's like they needed to get to the gateway of this like union that they're finally seeing the flames of their heart, the fires of it. To awaken to that, they had to get to that gateway by accessing this portal of the shadow, that restrictive energy. They've had to learn so much. Their soul was truly, it's like that this has been their destiny path. Who is this person? Let's find out. Who is this person? Just some clarity from these messages as well. Beautiful. They've really been North Star. They're really been putting in that word. Third person's there, so I think that's something to do with that devil energy that they're moving away from. And I did say legal matters and chained to, so maybe there was some kind of, you know, underlying paperwork that really tied them to somebody. Okay, but North Star number 3, beautiful. Blue could be important to somebody actually, sticking out, and that's throat chakra as well. Inner guidance, direction. They're finding their direction for core values. Yeah, core values, guiding light, inner knowing, true path, their true path now. Clarity, hope, certainty, confidence, protection. That's the difference, confidence. So that's why they're moving away from the hesitation with that 2 of Swords and that indecision, towards confidence, towards knowing that they're confident and want to move here. But that doesn't just come like this, you know, the conversations are here for a reason. It comes with the conversations, it comes with building that trust together. Yes, confidence that they want to move forward. They need that themselves, true. They know this. That's why that devil's come out with the justice card, you know. There needs to be balance. Someone exceptional. Firefly. They're finally beginning to recognize they are someone exceptional. They are. They're being receiving a lot of light cards because they're now finally open to them. You know, before they probably like batted them away is what I'm seeing. That could be important to someone, some kind of sport. Number 11. Illumination. Chemistry. The beginning and love, illumination. I think they are currently as well with like the 3 of Swords energy. They're really understanding themselves beneath the surface. Self-discovery, obviously, that makes sense. Magical. This entire journey, it's not easy. They're facing those fires, but they're rising through them, okay? So their soul spark, they're recognizing it. Fire's a big deal here, clearly. God, I feel like that's like so many of my readings. I must really have a lot of collectives, whoever connects with me here, the collectives I read for, who are connected to fire. Truly, it's beautiful. Creative spark, yes, they're going to be feeding back into their creative spark, no longer being drained by this devil energy that's been preventing them from seeing they are someone exceptional, you know, stepping into that light, that divine light that is needed. The bouquet, beautiful. That's also a card of reconciliation as well. So happy, harmony, right? Creativity, again, is a big deal. Number 9. What else do we need to know for this person? What do you need to know? Yeah, anvil. Striking while the iron is hot. Okay, so definitely resilient but purpose-driven. Someone who wants to take action, which I mentioned there. Number 2, they've got resolve, resilience, taking determined action, strength, persistence. Okay, they're concentrating on this. They're taking this very seriously. Their focus is shifted. Oh my God, the diamond ring at the bottom of the deck. They want to go next level. That's why, of course, that 4 of Wands was there before, right? They're seeing this on the horizon. So that's why they know they need to put that work in. Number 25 could be important, okay? Let's find out. Maybe they're seeing others outside of them, like reaching new levels as well. They have for a while, and it's really like been speaking to the heart over time. The moon and then the wine here. So this again is that psyche, the subconscious, their understanding. They might be very intuitive as well, actually. Somebody who's quite intuitive. So, you know, their third eyes. Big deal, 32 and 8, okay? Affection, fantasy, recognition. Again, that artistic energy, very creativity, you know, that creative energy could be important in this, whoever this is. Aging well, though. This is what it is. Maybe that's what's aging well. They're really connecting to that beautiful divine feminine within them, and that's happening over time. You know that inner yin and yang I mentioned? Fireworks and heart. Wow. This again is giving that fire of the heart space. Fireworks. Wow, it's passion, desire. 30, chemistry, kiss, celebrate, happiness, acceleration, new year. They want, maybe they actually have seen, like, you know, the new year, maybe they're literally seeing the new year. I'm seeing this like vision of the new year, and they're seeing themselves with their person celebrating. This is a hot. So that's And with that devil, oh, there could be a lot of passion and desire here, okay? I mean, the new star is coming out with the Ace of Wands, for God's sake, and the Three of Swords. I mean, Three of, Three of Wands. So they need to be mindful of leading with lust. Lust is on here as well. I think they know this. That's where their judgment card is there. They're awakening to this. So they want to healthily channel that forward vision. So they're trying to understand that. I feel like they're still a bit confused. How do I move with this energy and not be led by lust? Wow, that's a big deal to do with this devil energy. The balance I want to bring in. So I think there's something about learning the difference between love and lust and understanding that intimacy is beautiful. It includes vulnerability, it includes that connection to the heart space and getting a deeper connection with each other. Lust is purely just, very the animalistic energy in nature within a human. It's about balancing that divine consciousness that you have got access to. This heart space, there is passion here too. Okay, there's passion in this heart too. There's also affection, right? There's love, there's desire, yes, there's kindness, there's forgiveness. This is about seeing each other, there's fulfillment, okay? This is about not lack, where lust might have led before and you ended up feeling some kind of lack within. This is about fulfillment, which is why you see each other as a whole being. All of you, light and shadow, right? God, it's beautiful. Yeah, so exhilarating energy is what it says, excitement. Wow, they're really excited to move forward. I can feel that as soon as the beginning. That's giving that fire heart energy as well with that light. Nice. Okay, what else? Can we confirm this message? Yeah, double rainbow, divine intervention. Maybe you've seen rainbows recently. Connect with rainbows, number 16. Divine intervention, ascension, massively having an ascension process here. It's perfect timing, divine timing, okay? Divine timing is always perfect timing. Light codes, promises kept as above, so below. Duality, serendipity. I think that for a while, part of them thought, if this is meant to be, it'll be. But it doesn't work like that. You have to be the person who's ready for it. That's what I always talk about. Divine alignment isn't like a magical day in the calendar. It's literally when you're ready to receive that. So that's why you have to be that person first. You have to, those core values that were coming through, you have to embody those core values. Not just expect them from another person or expect yourself to suddenly be that person when they come along. No, you have to be that first. You're someone exceptional. You need to access that first and honor it. Through seeing yourself through the eyes of divine, your inner divinity. Wow. And that divine intervention is given that judgment card as well. So clearly they've had to have some situations here to really awaken. I'm also seeing something about their dream state. Maybe they've had visions. Again, that's the moon energy. They could be quite tapped in, which means whoever they connect to is very tapped in. Static, not unconditional love. This is divine union, love of all lifetimes, and this did want to come through the bouquet. I'm seeing many things, but definitely somebody who's maybe they're quite romantic. This is the gestures that I mentioned. They want to come through gestures. Maybe they're always going to show up with flowers, or some kind of gift, offers. I'm not going to lie, I'm also seeing, flowers in a wedding, that kind of energy. Maybe this is what they've been seeing, again, that's accessing, kind of softening their heart space every time they see stuff like that. Number 9, yes. Happy, harmony. They've not known harmony and they really want this. Beauty. Creativity again. I feel like maybe they're connected to someone who's quite creative as well, because that just keeps coming through, and they're seeing this with these flowers that I mentioned. They want a gift, This does say a gift actually as well on here, and it says art. Wow. Okay. Reconciliation. Yeah. Expressive. Yeah, they want to be more expressive. They haven't been expressive, and they know this. They want to express themselves now. They want to break the barriers of that stuckness in their throat. It can be hard to speak a truth because you don't know how you're going to be received, or the past wounds come to the surface, and sometimes someone can be quite intimidated by who they want to move towards, which is again why they need to recognize they're someone exceptional too, right? Openness, love, warmth, appreciation, gratitude. I also feel like they want to express their gratitude for the love that they're going to be able to pour into another and receive from another too. Especially this is the Celtic night, that we're not seeing this clearly before, for sure. Number 24, unconditional love, legendary, divine union, eternal love, infinity, enduring, connected, love of a lifetime. Definitely connected, because I feel like I keep seeing that, I'm I'm kind of filtering through, actually, maybe a person who's connected to you is like this, you know what I mean? So there's definitely a merging happening on an energetic space, which is what happens usually first before the physical can take place. You know, and that's through in spaces where you can access between realms, right? So whether it is the dream state, telepathy, you know, even online, because you're not physically present, but you are still connected to each other's energy, right? Which allows you to really get used to the presence, the frequency of each other, so that you can truly hold it in the physical. Maybe it's come through for a reason. Maybe we met online, or maybe something about, which isn't unusual, even though it can often not be like the preference, but it's not unusual. It works. Masculine energy, confirmation. Masculine energy present here. Again, the clock, perfect timing, divine timing. Honouring the past, present and future. I also feel like past lives as well. Something about past lives is important here. Maybe someone's learning more about that. They're understanding that this isn't just the heartbreak of this lifetime that they're carrying and clearing through. Again, the heart, you know. So we've got the golden ticket here. Beautiful. Mortar and pestle. Again, maybe they are someone who's quite an alchemist, you know. A bit of a magician themselves. And I mean that in the space of kind of really heart-led. Their divine gifts. They're tapping into their divine gifts more is what it feels like. Golden ticket as well. So that feels like, this is like a turning point, a big break, you know what I mean? So it's really beautiful. Number 5, once in a lifetime success, something special. I said someone, so maybe they're seeing the person as someone special. Magical, again, there's so much magic in this energy. An extraordinary event, major opportunity. Look, I really have a massive feeling this is what they want moving forwards with whatever they're approaching. This is how they want it to be. This is the golden ticket. This is why they're seeing it as once in a lifetime. Like, it's a major opportunity, because what they want isn't something that Celtic not remember. It's not something that you just get every day at all. Mortar and pestle, alchemy. Transmuting this energy beautifully. Number 10, blending, brewing, alchemy, medicine. Maybe they're having to really look after their health as well, especially if they're healing and purging through a lot of these layers within, you know, that grief, that trauma that's stored within. Sometimes it can come through with physical symptoms as it's being released, yeah? Breathing's important for someone. Okay, so they want to make something new. As they're breaking down their past, remember that past, present, future was coming through? As they're breaking down their past, they're, I don't know if I mentioned that, but that did come through, streamed in. They're creating space for this newness that they want to welcome in, okay? Potions, that work. Maybe that is a big deal for someone. Maybe this is something that they're understanding in a more healthy space, okay? Again, that divine gift. I really want to get an animal card for whoever this is, so we'll do that in a moment. Oh, snake, ooh. There might be someone who's quite jealous, especially this is betrayal as well. So that betrayal wound is big for this, whoever this is. Big. Maybe it's connected to that sexuality that keeps coming through as well. Something about that, okay. Number 7. Yeah, this is why I meant, like, they're healthily connected to their divine feminine now, because this is the feminine energy within them. Toxic, silent treatment, backstab, seduction, sexuality, counterproductive, jealousy, deception. Wow. I think this is what they're learning how to alchemize, but I also think in the past that maybe they have done things like, you know, like love potions and things like that. You know, if you're doing it on yourself, like a self-love, you know, glowing up, beautiful, do whatever you need to. But I think that they're understanding that before it was coming from a really wounded space, like maybe a possessive, a controlling space, a space where they hadn't healed their heart to actually see things clearly. Do you know what I mean? Again, that justice card is coming through. I think this is a past life thing that was coming through as well. Maybe they're connected to some kind of past life love spell or something, and they're really working through that, clearing through that, truly. Maybe that's where that sexuality or sexual energy was being pulled from. I think there's parts of them that are just that shadow energy. There's parts of them that people wouldn't even guess is who they are. This is why they're beginning to get more authentic in who they are, by learning that themselves, you know, no longer steeping in like this betrayal energy, you know. Whoa, just as I said that's a third person, okay. So we've got the ring of keys. Oh, and the doorbell. This is where I think they can get influenced, uprooted from the past. This is where I think that they need to be really mindful, because they might have many people coming, knocking on their door, coming their way. This does say many opportunities. But it does also say transition, new beginnings, number 27. Power, freedom. They're freeing themselves from this. There's some kind of hidden knowledge that they're accessing to really understand themselves, deeply. Multiple choices, yeah. Change of heart. With this door, but they need to be mindful that they're not easily malleable and manipulated by external forces, okay? Especially when it comes to whether it's jealousy, maybe some, maybe it's like that sexual energy, whatever. They need to be mindful. Number 10, doorbell. Yeah, someone's coming, alert. Okay, another one about choices. A visit. This third person is someone else's influence. It also says love triangle, okay, a third person. And this particular card, number 18, has a male and 2 females on it, so maybe that means something to someone. Okay, let's find out what else we need to be aware of. Yeah, they've definitely got a lot. Something about the people they're around. This is the garden, like they have an audience or something, crowds gather around them. They're in events, they are quite a radiant energy. But number 20 and number 8, this does say a date. So again, if there's a third person, they need to be mindful of the choices that they're making, okay? Playing the field, yeah. This is where all that past stuff is that they're understanding. The hesitation is, let's see. Yeah, the risk taker, the maverick, non-conformist. Wow, okay, number 25. Rule breaker, fearless, outside the box, define, loose cannon, risk taker. They've been here, they've done that. I think they're trying to understand where it's their own freedom, following their heart, versus where they feel like, oh, they're going to be moved away from their freedom. Okay, let's get another one just to confirm these last few cards. They need to be mindful of who is around them. That's all right now, because that could still feed into those wounds that they're still clearing through. To step into the, oh my god, just as I said that, the Milky Way. Something about their online, I knew it, their audience, online. Something about their online energies. Maybe they have a lot of options for third people, and it has something to do with this online presence, networking, their social field, fame, it says here as well, social media, spotlight, connected. They could be very well connected, exposure. They're accessible. They're someone who's accessible. So it's about how they're having boundaries within that space. Okay, so that's important. Especially that's come out all after that snake card. Definitely need to be mindful of how their energy is being pulled on. That lighthouse, though, they're not blind to this. That's what all the cards, yeah, look, they are faithful. Oh my god, that's like, and the heart again. So this is just confirmation. That North Star, they're going in the right direction. This is the dog. But also, this could be other influences still. So just being mindful of that. But I do think there's someone who's faithful. They just need to check in and hone in on these betrayal wounds, because that's what pulls them away from because they think that, they're being faithful, they're being a fool. No, that's your core values. You're faithful. You should be very proud of that, okay? A loyal person should hold in on that and welcome what is aligned, and not fall into what isn't aligned because everyone else is like that. No, have some faith in yourself and your path. You've been called that way for a reason. Your heart lights up for that for a reason. Number 18 and 10. They've clearly had to really rebuild their faith and trust within themselves. And when it comes to connection, it's way too much outside, and especially with that audience card, that like validates this risky and behavior where they're just being a loose cannon or whatever. They've been there. I think they're just on the journey of understanding this about themselves as well, and being mindful of who that energy is outside of themselves. Maybe they've not been very good at that before, or maybe they've just allowed themselves to be led away, astray, whatever. Supportive, helpful, playful, faithful. Friendship that turns to love. Maybe that's a thing as well. Another one just to confirm. Some double clarity, I want to make sure that this is the right message for you. Woo. And don't forget that change of heart did come through here. So it does feel like someone maybe, and that's where that reconciliation is coming through. Maybe they're going to, and that conversations and that 7 of Wands, feminine energy. And this has come out with this for the bellows. This is a catalyst, spark, getting things going. Passion again is on this card, kindle. So they do want to go this direction. They want to be faithful. They're understanding. They're having a change of heart. But it does come with having a cleanse of their environment, especially with that mortar and pestle card. This is their opportunity. That maybe that's what the golden ticket is. Their big break is finally seeing this for what it is and alchemizing it, cleansing through it, clearing through it, transmuting it, and welcoming this in. This beautiful journey. Oh, but that wanted to fall. That's the walking boot. So that's again exiting this kind of energy and behavior, and walking towards their own path, which is here. That Four of Wands I wanted to come through before, which they're getting towards. Once they're clear through, you know, every time that betrayal wind comes through, it's kind of like the easy option, the easy choice is to go back to this kind of energy, and it just doesn't suit them. It really doesn't. It doesn't feel right. And keeps them recycling that, you know, that wheel. You go through the wheel and you go up. You become the master from the student, but they've just been cycling the bottom because of the betrayal winds that have kept them there. Get animal card. This is where that divine justice is a big deal right now. It's kind of like almost in their hands. Some faith in yourself. And what you truly desire. And the fulfillment that you can get from the elephants. Gentle, timid, lucid dreams. That also says navigating obstacles quite easily. Okay. I'm seeing Ganesh as well, so maybe that's relevant. Really, obstacle remover. So elephants. Powerful. It says trust. I need to learn to trust. Then that means I need to learn to trust themselves, because if they're pulling themselves into this direction, that's the choice they're making. Then if they can't trust themselves to make the choices that their heart truly desires, then they're less likely to trust outside of themselves, okay? So number 13. Obviously there's more to it than that, okay? Telepathy. Again, telepathy, supportive. They're very crafted. Get another card for whoever this beautiful, exceptional energy is. You need to be reminded of that by yourself, okay? White wolf, very important. Again, inner guidance system, beautiful. Number 7. Magical number. Guidance, confidence, again, trusting your inner knowing, believing in your power. Instinctual. Freedom just keeps coming up for this. You're clearly somebody who needs freedom, which totally makes sense. But be mindful of what you're being conditioned is freedom, what is falsely being labelled as freedom, versus actually what is the absolute fulfillment of your heart, which truly liberates your soul and you truly feel free in a way that you can't even explain. My God, resilience, stamina, resilient. Again, this is someone who's very resilient. Another card, animal, just to get some clarity. Going all in for what they want, what they desire. Family could be important for somebody as well, okay? Got the dolphins there, so that's nice. Number 10, looms, deeply committed. So they are very faithful. When they lock in, they're locked in. They just want to make sure that they're locking in the right place. They need to do that for themselves first. That's what the big thing here is. They can't just wait for someone else outside them to prove that to them. They need to learn how to trust themselves and their path. Because what happens when if that person goes or whatever happens, you're going to fall back to this. No, you need to be this first. Your core values. Who are you being? Who are you embodying? How are you operating, right? Manifesting your deepest desires, okay? Going all in for what you love, yeah. Reawakening lost hope. Exactly. There's joy ahead. There is. Okay. I'm going to see if there's anything that wants to come through for this connection, just so that they can, this energy can get some clarity or anything they need for this connection. So to confirm, this is the connection moving forwards. Okay, got passion at the bottom of the deck as well. So messages to confirm for this energy, if they need anything, just to confirm the clarity. What is going on? The connection moving forwards. Oh, God. This is where I think that white wolf came through. They need to trust their inner knowing and stop asking for external clarity, I think. Retreat, disconnection. Yeah, disconnect from what the world is trying to tell you is or isn't the case right now. I've got separation, so that reconciliation did come through for a reason, okay? Playfulness. Mindful, though, of how it's being channeled. The dolphin was there, so that's like collaboration and joy and fun, you know? Yeah, it did come out. So you are currently in separation. That's confirmation. It's really about learning how to honour the forward movement now, because there's a reason. I think this is someone who's understood there was a need for this separation, but now it's kind of like honouring how you're going to invest your energy moving forwards. You know, that playful energy, or is it speaking to your heart? You know, there's a new love cycle though. Beautiful new love cycle. that wants to come through moving forward, okay? Forgiving and learning confirmation. That's that message that was coming through about the conversations, but there will be forgiving and learning. There will be a need to invest in that. Finances and career, so that could be a big deal. Someone might be focused on their finances and career currently, but also maybe it's something that you'll want to work on together is what I'm getting, or something like that is important for this connection, okay? Let's see if there's anything about timings that you need to know. Or just any additional messages to give you the clarity that you've come to this reading for. Okay, well, yeah, Two of Cups. This is not the deck I was going to get. That's so weird. Where's the deck that I need to get? I need to find it, but this is absolutely not the deck I was going to get, so I'm going to put it back. But the Two of Cups did just come Cups, and it's upright, loving exchange. So that's just confirmation. Two of Cups again. That is definitely what they want to move towards. Okay, Knight of Wands sweeping you off your feet energy. Here's the deck that I wanted. Let's do that again. Okay, so connection. A message for you. This energy. Who this reading is about. What message do you need to know for you and your journey currently? Okay, let's find out. Confirmation, this is the Emperor. Wow, powerful. This is what you have the ability to step into right now. The Emperor's come out twice. First card here as well, protective. Action-oriented, again, the anvil energy. You want to take action. You're fired, your heart is truly guiding you now. That's beautiful. Allow your heart to guide you, not the lust, right? Channel that energy. I think you're learning how to do that very well. Strong, a leader. Leader. What else do you need to know for you to clarify messages for you? The Two of Cups is really on your mind moving forward. Now it's kind of like, that was the Fool, and that's Uranus as well in that card. And Uranus went into retrograde recently. Oof. Okay, yeah, it's developing communication. There's a lot on the mind. That Knight of Swords, the very first card, that makes sense. I've got a lot of racing thoughts right now about this. Chariot again. Their picture is forward movement for sure. They're just clearing through this now. Whatever hesitation they have, and then the bad habits that can sometimes sneak up on them. That's what they're clearing through now, but for sure they know exactly where their heart is leading them. They know that forward vision. They're just handling whatever pulls them away right now. That Chariot, remember that vision came through for a reason. They don't want to be on that unstable Chariot that just overwhelms them suddenly, you know. They think they're going good, but they're learning how to balance. Can we get any clearer? Fire, fire. Okay, so the element of fire, which is big for this, we mentioned this, is passion, there's impulsivity. Once again, there's creativity. Expect the unexpected. This is someone, again, that the Maverick. So they are someone who's very spontaneous, right? But it's about learning how to, this is what they're understanding, learning how to really be spontaneous in a way that's like inclusive. You know, you're honoring everybody's feelings, everybody's joy, and that collaboration energy versus just like going after what you want, you know, that past energy. This is the Prince of Fire. That's Sagittarius energy as well. That's really interesting. And this is 14 to 30 days as well. Autumn time is going to be important. Let's see if there's anything for this connection that this Emperor clearly wants to move towards. Connection, this Two of Cups energy. Okay, what about this connection? What do you need to know, Emperor, about this connection? You're getting there. None of this ego. I'm hearing a lot about humility here, especially with that fire. Okay, so it feels stuck right now, but I think you're just grounding. You're grounding yourself. It's very clear, this energy. You're grounding yourself to be that dependable energy, to anchor this in now, because you're the one who has to hold this down in 3D, make it happen in 3D. Yeah, so it's that, again, learning how to trust yourself to do that. Yeah. Striking while the iron's hot, I think that's as soon as you get that red light. Green light, what? That green light, okay, clearly you got a red light right now. Green light from the universe, from divine, to take the action, you're going to take it. Red light, that came through for a reason. That's why this feels stuck right now to you. I think it's your own warning bells for you and your behaviour and your choices right now, which makes sense. Virgo, the Hermit. Soul searching, you're doing a lot of that. You're finding enlightenment, you're in solitude. Well, you're valuing your solitude, certainly, in a very different way. Anything else you need to know about this connection moving forward? So I think you need to learn how to have faith, you know, and trust in yourself before you even ask any questions, because then you'll be holding on to something that you need to learn how to trust it before you... Okay, so winter time, within 2 to 4 weeks, there's going to be some kind of progress. King of Earth here, Capricorn energy. So again, this is definitely something about winter time. As you, over this next month, you really hone in on yourself and you go, like, you're striking while the iron is hot on yourself and your choices. and find that alignment. You recognize that you are the divine masculine, and you're going to step into that role, and truly, not from ego. That's where you need to check yourself. That's a big thing. But from that heart, that's when you can really move towards this connection and let it unfold. Allow it to unfold and unstick anything else that you need to be aware of for this connection moving forwards. Remember that Two of Cups will come out again, very first card. And oh my God, the King of Fire. Fire, fire, fire. Gosh, there's so much passion here. Ooh. I don't know. Okay, the King of Fire, 7 days. Okay. This is communication as our Mercury, so there could be some kind of communication incoming of the 7 days, but it's going to be, I feel like it's going to be something about, this is where I'm at right now, this is what I'm going through. Can we hold this space as I go through this and you do your thing, and then really come back to this connection, zone in on it more as we've healed through and found that alignment, that Two of Cups coming together. That's why it's going from fall to autumn, so this is not long. This is someone who clearly wants to take action. That keeps coming through, but spring is going to be important for major developments as well. Mercury, the Magician. Didn't I say this is someone who's a magician? Clearing through that blocked energies within right now. Okay, don't forget, when your energies come together, this is what I mean, like you connect on like not the physical first, because your frequency, you need to be able to hold it, right? So you're going to learn how to hold that. Maybe that's what the communication is. It's not going to be in the physical. Maybe it's going to be online or something, your phones or whatever, so you can really begin to feel each other's presence again, that frequency, understand it, feel it, align with it, okay? But quick manifestations are coming. This is someone who manifests quick. That was coming through a lot as well, okay? There's a lot happening here. Stay grounded. Look after you. Be wise with your choices, okay? Do what you can. Maybe journal or something. I don't know, keep notes so you know what's up, okay? Especially with your mood that's affecting you. That hesitation comes up and, get led astray, whatever that devil energy. It's okay. Everyone has a shadow. Hold in on it, sit with it, ask yourself the right questions, sit with it. Maybe you don't want to ask, maybe you just want to observe. That's okay too. Just take note, okay? Because you're leveling up right now. It's beautiful. This is big. So that is fire, earth, and air on the table. I'm just going to get one card here. I'm moving forward, just some guidance for you, and then we can end the reading, okay? Don't let the past hold you back, okay? You're very close to achieving your goal. I feel that. Like I said, you're close. You're close. Hold faith. Zone in, stay in your alignment. This is not a time to get pulled away, and you know that. That's why you're working through that, okay? Clearly your finances are important to you right now as well, so you're investing wisely, and you're learning how to balance that. It's not always just going to be one pot. It's about that temperance energy, the alchemy. You're doing beautifully, okay? You got this. Stay there, sending love.